Guys, what's going on? Somerdale Piso back once again with another video. Today, we're going to talk about semen retention. Naturally, well, tonight we're going to talk about semen retention. When are we not talking about this very powerful, ancient practice that is seldom even mentioned in the media, right? When don't we talk about this in our videos? We always do. So today, I realized that I talk a lot about semen retention in regards to, you know, how it connects you with the divine, or how it betters your physical health, or all these different aspects. But I never actually gave you guys a sort of anecdote and on how semen retention personally affected me. So here's one. Honestly, we're gonna talk about how semen retention helped me manifest a job, a very powerful job in my life. So like, comment, subscribe, let's get right into it. So basically, longtime supporters of the channel, you know, we know Rich Wealthy, we talking to you, Frog, I don't even think Frog looks at my videos. But anyway, long supporters of the channel, we know that when I started this channel, I was unemployed, right? And I was unemployed for a while. It was like 5-6 months. Of course, the five months into the channel. Before that, I was unemployed for much longer. During that entire time, I have been celibate. I was practicing semen retention actively. Of course, I'm not gonna lie, every now and then I peeked at like some sort of Instagram accounts, which is why I try to denounce them in my videos, because I understand the issues of them. It's like a sinkhole for your attention, the energy that you use for your attention, the mental energy. However, I continued on the practice. I continued concentrating and focusing, staying celibate. And eventually, this job just came out of nowhere. I currently work for the city. If you guys don't know, I work for human resources department. But how it happened was I took a civil service exam 5 years ago, and I did really well on it. Depending on your grade, you get put on a number on a list for them to eventually, you know, the city to, or whatever government branch of the city, for them to call you back and then invite you for an interview. Once you pass that interview, you then get accepted to the position, of course. That happened 5 years ago, me taking this test, and they called me for a while. Like even during like after I got unemployed, or even when I was working for this restaurant before I got unemployed, I kept getting called in for these interviews. The structure of the interviews, they would call people on a list number. If you were number 2 and I was number like 167, then they're gonna go through all of those numbers, you know, until they get to your number. And of course, depending on the government branch that is offering the whatever jobs it is, they obviously might fill that vacancy, right, that job, by like number 6 or 8. I guess you can sort of deduce that my number was very, very far on the list. So I kept coming into these interviews, sitting down, all dressed up, somewhere to go and somewhere to sit down, but no one to interview, because they would never call me in. And I had to go home hours later without any job or any hope of a job. And then after 5-6 months of completely being celibate, no peeking, no nothing, I finally was invited to come into the room to get interviewed by these 3 individuals, one of which who is my boss now, and I passed the interview. So I definitely I'm happy about that. And of course, if you guys know anything about city jobs or anything, you know that it's full of benefits. I get access to a pension. I get access to a whole bunch of other perks, including gym membership discounts, transportation card discount, you name it. It's a very, very powerful, uplifting job. And of course, the longer I stay there, assuming that I filled out the pension, the 401k that the employer matches, right, every time you contribute, it will obviously be more beneficial to me. I am very, very lucky every time I think about, you know, whenever I'm on the I'm on the train and I'm going to the job and the office, and I'm like, you know, I'm pretty lucky for getting this job. And I forget that all the months of the Pieces Perceptions, which is my monthly periodic videos where I talk about my mental health, my current level of employment, my current relationships, interpersonal or romantic, all that sort of thing. Past all the Pieces Perceptions of me complaining about not being able to get a job, I finally got this job. However, we know that, I mean, there's secret societies in this world. So we know that perhaps there is some sort of ploy at hand in order to get me comfortable and then eventually have me make a decision, an ultimatum. We'll see what happens. But to be honest, guys, this job has definitely come because I have been celibate, because I've been saving my vital energy. If I was not celibate, if I was not on semen retention, best believe I would still probably be complaining on YouTube in 4K about how I couldn't get a job. Before I even got this office job that I have now, I decided to go out and search for a restaurant job in the meantime, because I just couldn't handle being unemployed anymore and not doing anything active. My advice, you know, besides my story, I just think that you guys should stay the course. If you guys are having any sort of personal strife about staying on the practice and trying to reap some sort of reward, of course you shouldn't go on semen retention because of that. There are way more reasons as to why you should be celibate and be on semen retention, especially in this modern world, and especially in a city like New York, where love has far disappeared. It's not in the equation for women anymore. They only want material goods. They only want to take your resources, and they want to latch on to relationships that seem socially and physically beneficial. That's all. If you are not on semen retention, or if you are on semen retention trying to find some sort of reward, don't do that. Honestly, you should be on it just to power yourself up. But the longer you are on this practice, guys, the more of a chance that your life will better. Whatever your prevalent thoughts are, whether it be trying to be successful as a singer, trying to be a fashion designer, or whichever dream you may have, the longer you are on semen retention and the stronger you think about those thoughts, those dreams, they will slowly but surely come to fruition. With semen retention, the battle of getting what you desire mentally and spiritually is a battle of attrition, which means the longer you stay at it, the higher a chance there is at victory, because they will just eventually give up. The defense will eventually erode and wear away. Continuously stay on your practices of semen retention, continuously stay celibate, and stay concentrated on your goals. I did not think that I was gonna get a job. Honestly, I did not think that I was gonna get this office job. 2 months later, I am very, very excited that I got this. It's teaching me a lot about just that type of work. I'm also very excited that I came into the whole corporate life after I had a whole plethora of experiences, because I would obviously have taken this job for granted and probably not have done or performed well at it. So I am very happy about that. And this is all due to continuously following semen retention. Granted, like I told you guys, I've been on this practice for a very, very long time. I've been on semen retention for years. Of course, not on just some years-long streaks. I had the whole bout. I started on semen retention. I was going for weeks. Then I stopped, I relapsed. Then I went on for a month. Then I relapsed. And then I got into hookers, and that was a very, very dark space. And then I relapsed. Been relapsing when I was there, right? What's going on?
Mind if I listen?
Sure. Come along, man.
Thanks.
I splurged, relapsed and everything. After a while, I pulled myself out of the muck, out of the ditch that was where prostitutes put you, right? You're just consistently in this perpetual state of yearning. I sort of climbed myself out of that, obviously staying focused on celibacy and semen retention, and here I am. If I can do it, most definitely you guys could do it. And of course, listen to my channel, listen to other semen retention content creators, and they will sort of help you prevent all of these issues that are like the standard pitfalls in your various practices of celibacy. Final thoughts, right, is this. I am proud of what I've accomplished thus far, especially in regards to getting this new office job. We also know that the channel has been doing extremely well, and I'm very, very excited to continuously preach all the myriad angles that there is of the celibacy practice to you guys. If it ever does come to that point where I have to sort of this or that, like an ultimatum or something between my job and the channel, we'll see what happens, right? But most likely I'm gonna choose you guys. I adore you guys dearly, and of course I enjoy talking about this practice. So that is it for today of this talk about semen retention. If you like that content, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Do not ever let this world get you down. Of course, normally there is the battle that we have with the outside world, right? Whether it is trying to impress that employer or impress, thank you. Whether you're trying to impress your friends, whether you're trying to sort of stave off bullies, depending on what point you are in your lives. But the ultimate battle is the battle against the self, and that becomes even more present when you're on the practice of semen retention. Stay celibate, stay completely controlled in your energy, and be devoted to your dreams. Do not break for anything. This world is so easy it's so good. This world is incredibly adept at eroding the dreams of the individuals, the citizens of this place. But you cannot give up. You cannot give in. When you're on semen retention, it's do or die. You have to continue to the very end. You have to complete what you started. And that is all I have to say, of course, about this. And stay radiant. I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!